last year, Kelly Bryant played 4 games at Clemson. All of a sudden, he gets benched. Trevor Lawrence comes in. He says, I'm shutting it down. I'm going to transfer. He goes on. He's a starting quarterback at Missouri right now. That was okay.
Right.
We're all good with that. Now what we are seeing, what De'Ara King has done, and this is where it's unprecedented because we have seen quarterbacks or players, but a lot of it revolves around quarterbacks because there's only one position on the field that you can play. We've seen quarterbacks lose out on jobs, and so they say, all right, I'm going to go somewhere else. Or they get whatever situation crops up. What we haven't seen is a quarterback who is clearly the starter, who last year set an American Conference record with 50 touchdowns accounted for. He was one of the best players in the league that he played in. This year, still putting up pretty good statistics, but the team is awful. The team is 1-3. Houston is. They had some preseason expectations. He has a new coach in Dana Holgorsen. And so he, along with another wide receiver who was the second leading receiver, say, we're going to shut it down. And we're going to stay at Houston and come back next year and see if we can get this thing turned around and have a strong last year while you're there.
Yeah.
It's been real. It's like uncharted territory.
I feel like you're trying to sell me. You already know what I'm going to say. No. I feel like you're trying to sell me. Like you're looking at me like, come on, buddy. Come with me, bud.
I'm saying,
come with me.
Right thing. All right. There is no right thing in today's environment, right? I just think this is an unintended consequence that hurts college football as a whole. But here's what we don't know yet is what is De'Ara King's plan? Because he's been pretty unsure. He called it one of the toughest decisions he's had to make.
Sure.
I kind of feel like he's going to transfer. And that was my initial hunch was, whoa, this is weird. He's going to transfer somewhere else. Maybe he's going to try to be the next Jalen Hurts. But he already had a job. He was already playing. So I'm like, well, what's the point here? Listen to Dana Holgorsen, who explained it further and saying, wait a second, he's not transferring. He's going to stick around. He hasn't even entered the transfer portal. Here's what Dana Holgorsen had to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean there is. I mean that's there's you don't. I mean he's a special player, and there's a lot of coaches out there that cheat, So I mean he's going to be up here in a minute. You guys ask him questions and everything, but. All indications are he's not going in the transfer portal. So if he's not in the transfer portal, it's kind of against NCAA rules and regulations to be pursuing that, so to speak. So I got no reason to believe that. I've never got the impression that De'Ara is leading me astray in anything over the last 9 months. He's a wonderful kid. He's a Houstonian. He's a Houston Cougar. He chose to come to this school, and I think he's very proud of being here and wants to continue to develop and make the University of Houston football program as good as it possibly can be.
All right, so that's Dana Holgorsen explaining why he doesn't think he's transferring because he hasn't entered the transfer portal, which would allow other teams to start talking to him. All right, Raja Bell. If you are, let's say you're Raja Bell, offensive lineman on the Houston Cougars team, and you've been teammates with De'Ara King for 4 years, and you guys have been going to battle, and all of a sudden this is your senior year. Let's say you redshirted, so you don't have this option.
Yeah.
And your teammate's saying, you know what? I'm peace out on this year. This year sucks. It's not going good. I'm going to either bounce or I'm going to maybe try again next year, but I want a do-over. Are you cool with that as a teammate?
We're 1-3.
Yep.
So we're not going anywhere?
Well, you might, with him as your quarterback, you might make a bowl.
Chill. He's already 1-3, and he's already been there.
Yeah.
Am I a pro prospect?
No. Let's say you're not.
He is.
But let's say you want to make a bowl game.
He is.
Yes.
Hey, listen, this is where we part ways, brother. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. This is your future now. I'm not going to be a football player. Like, that's in the cards for me already. I got my I know, poli-sci degree, whatever I got going on, that's what I'm going to go on and do. If you've deemed football as your vehicle to like a professional career, then this is where we part ways. And that it would
Are you
suck.
upset with him at all?
Maybe a level of salt, like probably a little bit. Like, damn, man, that sucks. Probably more disappointed than anything. But I'm going to be honest, like maybe a little salty. But at the end of the day, that you're talking about a livelihood, and that's what it always boils down to with me when we get to this point of the conversation. If that gives him the best chance, for a lot of reasons, like let's say you're a quarterback and you've been running a system for forever. You get a new head coach come in, and you're tasked with having to learn that new system, all the verbiage, and execute in it in 1 year to put on the best show for the NFL. And it's not going smoothly. Like, it's taking you longer to get it. Like, the communication isn't where, wouldn't you want that extra year to maybe be able to put on a better show the following year? Like, there are a lot of reasons why I will always side with the kid. And I get that it's about the team and all of this, except it's not. Like, it's real talk. Like,
right.
for some people it is. For some people it's not. For some people it's about trying to be a professional. You know what I mean? And trying to be a pro. But
that's where I get a little uncomfortable. This is new. Like, this has changed over the last 10, 15 years.
Kids are brands at 12 years old now, 13 years old. The whole conversation around sport and whether it's team versus like individual has changed. Like, and it changed years ago. We're just catching up to it. It's been changed. They were talking about this at the top 100 camp, the NBA top 100 camp. When I coached, I went through the coaching program. I don't know, this might be 9 years ago now. They were already talking about 16-year-olds building their own brands and teaching them how to build their own brands. At that point, like, the game has changed. Like, it's no longer about the team. It is about the individual.
So his dad, who was talking to the media, said sometimes you got to be, because he has in the past, you got to be selfish. He said at Houston, he played hurt, he played wide receiver, he played punt returner, he played kickoff returner, he played quarterback, he played running back. He's the most unselfish kid there is, but sometimes you got to be selfish to get what you want to get in life. There's only one you, there's only one life, so you've got to make sure you're good.
So his dad said it better than I just said it. Right? Because I didn't have all that backstory about the kid doing whatever they asked him to do at Houston.
Right.
But essentially, that's what my point boiled down to, right? Like, sometimes you do. And that's always going to be a tough conversation, but that's just life. At some point, you got to make the call that's best for you. And, like you asked me about being the lineman on that team, man. If we've had 3 good years together, and this is where, our paths part ways, like, I got to wish you luck, bro. Like, keep it moving.
Yeah, I still think this is all, like, I don't know what to believe. I really don't. Because Dana Holgerson's kind of telling a message of, if he's good with this, he has been very out in front saying, I'm okay with this, then what are you telling the players? Like, this is going to be a disaster season for Houston. So it's kind of like a version of tanking in the NFL. If he's saying, well, we're gearing up for next year, you still have 8 games left. And you're going to go out there and basically roll out a product and some guys who are, scrubs and get some young players.
There's a risk involved. What if he gets Wally pipped, so to speak? What if Derek King sits down and there's a young, plays well. Like, you've assumed some risk. Like, don't. And so, that's what I would say if I were, the coach. I'd be like, Dana Holgerson, look, guys, all right, this is the decision he made. While we support his decision because it's part of our family, we're business as usual, baby. This kid's going to drop in, and we're not going to skip a beat. And I would say that, like, unabashed. Like, hey, dude, we're trying to win. If he comes back, great. But right now, that's our guy.
I hope, it's interesting because his dad seems like, hey, they're making this decision specifically for the NFL, which is a lot of parents would view that as an option. And he's played enough and he's played well enough to view that as an option. What I would say is you could still get to the NFL and finish out this year with Houston.
Sure.
Or you could maybe hang it up this year and not play anywhere next year and try to really focus on the draft. But I don't know if that's going to put him in a better spot. Now, there's been a lot of speculation. Oh, he's going to go to Oklahoma. Look what Jalen Hurts did. So maybe that's their plan, is sit out this year, go to a better spot where you can be showcased in an offense that's going to have a lot more weapons around you. But I do feel like the NFL will find you if you've laid down as much as he has on film, because he's been impressive.
Yeah, I ultimately think, I don't know, I haven't broken it. I mean, I don't know anything about playing. I can't evaluate quarterback, so I can't speak to that. But when you first told me, I'm like, look, all right, I hear what he's saying. But at the end of the day, if Oklahoma comes calling, or Texas, and I know they have a quarterback, but I'm just using big programs with potential like national championship aspirations on the line, probably going to bounce. Like, and that's probably, what would happen in that case scenario. So, yes, you're trying to be a pro, but if you could check 2 boxes, showcase yourself and your talents for the pros, and in the process try to win a national championship, and you got better weapons to throw to, like, that's a win-win.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think this is the last time we're talking about De'Aaron King. Just a matter of where is he going to be. Is it going to be De'Aaron King at Houston or Oklahoma or somewhere else? But we'll be all over it here.
But yeah, I mean, I know we got to go to break, but I say this: your daughter's playing these leagues, right?
Yeah,
they play in basketball leagues.
Yep.
And I go to these leagues and you sit down with the guys and you're in the draft and whoever's running the league is going to give you all these damn rules like in place. So you can't come outside, you can't guard outside 3-point line, and we're not going to be able to do this, and there's no double teaming. And I always sit back and I listen, and when they're done, I say, hey, listen, every rule that you create trying to like protect someone offers somebody like me a loophole to do something else, and you're not going to like that. So every one you create, you got to create 2 more to stop me from doing what I'm going to do when you create the one.
Yep.
And it happens like that all the time. So why NCAA? I get it. But now this is what you got, right?
Yep.
Like,
I think they're going to have to walk it back and only make the rule applicable to freshmen and sophomores.
Right.
Because you're going to see more and more seniors. And there'll probably be another name or two that you'll start hearing creeping out. This was just a really high-profile player who decided to do it, and that's why we're talking about it. All right, we're going to take a break. When we get back, Lonzo and LeVar not talking.
Hey.
What does it mean? We'll tell you next right here on Kanell and Bell.